Welcome back to our Glutathione Help These Coronavirus Patients Breathe Again episode. This is part two. There was a report of a young medical student in Brooklyn helping restore his mother's breathing. She was a coronavirus patient who was having a terrible time with her breathing. He gave her a supplement called glutathione. He and a doctor gave an injection of glutathione to a second patient with coronavirus related breathing problems. He also improved dramatically rather quickly. Within half an hour, he said he improved. So it's important to discuss this. Glutathione could well work out to be a very, very important nutrient to take during the coronavirus pandemic. Hi, my name is Jerry Hickey. I'm a pharmacist who also had studied nutrition, and I'm over here at Invite Health. I'm also the scientific director, and I'd like to talk to you today about the benefits of glutathione for your lungs and your immune system. We're going to touch on the research, on the studies, on the science. Please be sure to subscribe to the Invite Health podcast, and please leave us a review. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Invite Health. All of the information on today's episode will be linked in the episode description, and you can visit invitehealth.com/podcast for more information. So let's go to the science. Let's go to the evidence. We have a very thin layer of liquid lining our lungs. This fluid has to be rich in certain antioxidants. Natural vitamin E, vitamin C, but especially glutathione. The glutathione buffers the lungs from inflammation. The inflammation could be caused by things that you inhale, such as mold spores, cigarette smoke, toxins, air pollution, particles of dust and soot. Research shows how important glutathione is for conditions in the lungs ranging from cystic fibrosis to asthma. So here's research from the University of Rochester Medical Center, upstate New York. It shows that free radicals inflame our lungs, and they're the major cause of lung damage and chronic lung diseases across a broad range of chronic lung diseases. They write that a drop in glutathione in the alveoli are millions of little sacs that line our lungs, and they exchange carbon dioxide for oxygen. So they write that a drop in glutathione, which would normally protect our alveoli, and in the lining of the lungs is a central feature of many chronic lung diseases with inflammation. And that glutathione is an important antioxidant that is therapeutic in preventing lung inflammation and lung damage. So it counteracts the free radicals that are generated by things like mold spores and whatever toxins you're inhaling. So here's a study by the University of Colorado in Denver and a bunch of other academic research institutions. It shows that older smokers have a triple whammy. It's not just generated by the smoking, but also associated with aging of the lungs and an age-associated drop of glutathione. So the protective fluid lining their lungs in these older smokers, so they were comparing older smokers to younger smokers. This does not give you a license to smoke. It shows you how important glutathione is for your lungs. That's the take-home here. The protective fluid lining their lungs that contains glutathione and the other antioxidants dropped by 67%. Their response to smoking, which would normally trigger the release of additional glutathione, is almost gone, virtually non-existent. So their glutathione levels drop with age. And they are releasing a great deal more of the inflammatory precursors than you'd see in younger smokers' lungs. This drop in protection is connected with the onset of emphysema and other lung conditions related to smoking, including lung cancer. There's an interesting study going on right now in Wuhan, China, which is purportedly and most likely the source of the coronavirus pandemic. They're studying glutathione attached to nano-sized silver particles to help treat coronavirus infection. They claim that it's preventing the virus from attaching to tissues. I'm not sure where this research is going, but they claim it may help slow the viral replication. In other words, the nastiness of the virus. In any event, NAC, alpha-lipoic acid, that's a precursor. NAC and alpha-lipoic acid are precursors to making glutathione. And glutathione itself all have the ability to protect your lungs from inflammation caused by pollution, viruses, your immune system, and many other factors. Let's go to a break.
This podcast is brought to you by InviteHealth.com. For over 20 years, Invite Health has provided premium quality supplements and expert advice you can trust. Now, first-time customers can enjoy an exclusive offer. Visit invitehealth.com/podcast or click the link in this episode description. That's invitehealth.com/podcast for your exclusive offer on Invite Health products. Invite Health offers the resources you need to make important decisions about your health. Chat live with degreed healthcare professionals, get product information, and find retail locations near you at invitehealth.com. You can also learn about our new genetic testing program and our exclusive Invite Fitness Wellness program. Follow Invite Health on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast today. Now back to our episode.
Okay, welcome back. So here's a study in the American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine. It's from University of Southern California in Los Angeles. The Keck School of Medicine is at USC. And they're saying our lungs are uniquely exposed to pollution, of course. They're exposed to toxins, viruses, and bacteria all day long with each breath, with each inhalation. So the lungs need to be adaptive. The lungs use glutathione to protect themselves from all these things that we're inhaling and to adapt quickly to a changing environment. The situation in the lungs is changing from breath to breath. You could be breathing in clean air for one instance, and the next instance be breathing in pollution or bacteria. So they go on to say glutathione plays an important role as an antioxidant in the lungs to stop inflammation, to stop the inflammatory processes in the lungs. And they say that changes in glutathione metabolism are a central feature of many chronic lung diseases. So this is a prospective study. I love prospective studies. Prospective studies get a bunch of people and put them together. Usually it could be 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 people. And then they follow them for many years. But in the meantime, they're giving them blood tests and urine tests and health checkups, health exams. They're making note of drugs they use, of the foods they eat. Do they exercise? Do they drink alcohol? Do they smoke? And what diseases will they eventually wind up with? These are great studies. So much interesting information. Powerful clues come out that then they focus their clinical trials directly on. Now, this happens to be children, so there's no smoking or alcohol here. It's 14,821 lung function measurements were taken from 2,106 kids from 12 cities in Southern California. So over 2,000 kids, repeated lung function studies. They looked at their genes. Some of the kids could make glutathione. Other of the kids had trouble making glutathione. It was a genetic thing. They inherited this from their family. They found that the kids in these cities who could not make glutathione effectively, that the air pollution was interfering with healthy lung development, with the development of lung strength and lung tissue. Their lungs were weaker. So the inability to create enough glutathione and use it effectively affects the health of the lungs, the strength of their lungs, the elasticity of their lungs, shows you how important glutathione is for your lungs. So here's a second study on toxicological science. I studied toxicology. Oh, is that a rough? I took 2 years of toxicology. That's a rough science. It's the study of when things become poisonous in the human body. This is the Department of Medicine, National Jewish Health in Denver, Colorado, and also the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Medicine, and Immunology, University of Colorado at Denver. And they showed that older cigarette smokers, a big drop in the amount of glutathione in their lung lining. You have a thin layer of fluid lining your lungs that should be loaded with antioxidants. And they found that older smokers, a 67% drop in the amount of glutathione in the lining of their lungs. And that even when they smoked, they could not adapt to the cigarette smoke. So a second study on smokers. Not that you should smoke and take glutathione. You shouldn't smoke, but maybe you should take glutathione. Here's alternative therapeutics and health in medicine. And they're looking at glutathione, how it's related to the health of your ear, ears, nose, and throat. It's a systematic review. They reviewed 36 years of research. That's a long history of research since the 1980s. And they found that glutathione is important in the ears, nose, and throat. And levels are important if you have rhinitis, inflammation of like the nasal passages, like whether it's allergies or in reaction to an infection. So chronic rhinosinusitis, polyps, the formation of polyps, otitis media with effusion. Otitis media would be an infection in the middle ear. Effusion means fluids are building up. It's painful. Chronic otitis media, so same thing, chronic infections in the middle ear. Tonsillitis, Meniere's disease. Meniere's disease is dizziness that comes out from inflammation in the middle ear. Laryngeal conditions and chronic coughs. So they found that when you have these conditions, they become more serious as your glutathione levels decline. In any event, glutathione is necessary for the health of your lungs. When you have an infection that affects your lungs or your upper respiratory tract, glutathione levels drop, and this reduces your ability to protect yourself not just from the virus, but also from your own immune system. So it's important to either get on glutathione itself or one of its precursors, such as NAC or alpha-lipoic acid. They all have the ability to help protect your lungs from inflammation caused by not just viruses, but also pollution. In a future episode, I'll discuss glutathione and its beneficial effects for your brain and your eyes. It's really important for your brain and your eyes. As far as the liver, we have formulas to promote glutathione because it's used for detoxifying. There's actually 7 different pathways in the liver that use glutathione to break down and activate and remove toxins from the human body. These are also active in your kidneys. Most toxins are removed by the liver. The rest are removed by the kidneys. So those 2 formulas are daily detox powder and Gluta-HX powder. A lot of people take a scoop of each every morning to improve their level of glutathione in their body and to rid themselves of toxins. Glutathione actually supports so many different things in the human body. Anyway, thank you for tuning into the Invite Health Podcast. You can find all of our episodes for free wherever you listen to podcasts or by visiting invitehealth.com/podcast. Please make sure you subscribe and please leave us a review. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Invite Health. We'll see you next time on another episode of the Invite Health Podcast, and thank you so much for listening.